Welcome to Brain Bites, your quick dose of science and strategies for an unshakable brain. I'm your host, Dr. Kylie, and in the next few minutes, you'll get a sharp insight to feed your brain. All right, let's dig in. When I received my brain DNA test score, it's not even a test, it's just my brain DNA report. That's a better word, report. There was a interesting trend inside this report around the dopamine levels. My brain DNA produces dopamine in a very quick manner and then releases it very quickly. So the dopamine raise and then the dopamine crash. But here's the thing. Dopamine is a double-edged sword. It's the neurotransmitter that drives you toward your goals. It's why you feel incredible when you close the deal, hit the milestone, get the promotion. It's that rush. That's dopamine flooding your system. Here's what nobody tells you. Right after the high comes the crash. And that's exactly what my brain DNA told me, is that's what my body does. Every time I would hit a milestone, my dopamine would spike. My brain lights up. I feel good. I feel unstoppable. I'm happy. I'm joyful. And then sometimes within hours, maybe even minutes, it drops hard. That drop would activate my amygdala, my brain's alarm system. Cortisol rises. My nervous system gets the signal. Something is missing. You should, in the moment, I should feel amazing, but instead, sometimes I would feel empty, anxious, even restless. And the more this happens, the more your brain learns to associate achievement with stress. That's why so many people, like myself, may lose motivation after a big win. They may even sabotage their own progress right when things are going well. It's not because they're lazy, it's not because they're self-destructive. It's because their brain has been conditioned to avoid the crash that follows the high. I am retraining my brain. I am learning how to keep dopamine levels more stable because I am tired and my family is tired of watching me experience the highs and the lows that come with the dopamine hits and then the dopamine crashes. As I've been retraining my nervous system and my brain, I want you to understand that this can be possible as you're going through this experience like I am. Our nervous system might remember the last time we achieved something big. We might have felt terrible afterwards. So let's not do that again. So it unconsciously pulls us back. You stop reaching for big things. You play small. Not because you don't want success, but because your brain is trying to protect you from the dopamine crash. This is the trap of the dopamine-driven achievement. You become addicted to the spike, but terrified of the drop. So you either chase bigger and bigger wins to keep the high going, or you shut down entirely. Here's the good news. Thank heavens, because I kept chasing bigger and bigger and bigger wins, searching for that high. And now I'm recreating, rewiring a more stable dopamine hits into my system, not just from a lifestyle perspective, but from a brain DNA perspective. Here are a couple ways that you can do this along with myself. First, incremental progress. About 10% increases at a time. Your brain can handle steady growth without triggering the cortisol response. Small wins, stacked consistently, train your brain that progress doesn't have to equal stress. Do I need that in my life? Oh, yes. So I am really trying hard to focus on these incremental wins as my entire business model changes and as my entire lifestyle changes as we head into 2026, escaping the horrendous 2025 I just experienced. So incremental progress is how you can start to train your nervous system like I'm training mine. Second is gratitude practices. Gratitude elevates serotonin, which balances out dopamine's volatility. When you regularly acknowledge what's working, your brain learns that you don't need the next big achievement to feel good. Oh, gratitude. Gratitude elevates serotonin, which balances out my dopamine's volatility. Sounds simple enough. Third, pace breathing. Deep, slow breaths activate the vagus nerve, the nerve that runs from your brain to your gut. It calms your nervous system and regulates dopamine release. You're literally telling your brain, we're safe. We don't need the spike. With these 3 simple practices, you can rewire the loop. You can stop chasing the dopamine high and start building consistent performance, energy, and success. We can do this together because this is for myself. This is neurophysiology in action. Your brain can learn to regulate dopamine instead of being ruled by it. And when it does, we can become unshakable. You can become unshakable. I can become unshakable. Our weekly challenge is to practice the 10% rule. Pick one area where you're tempted to go all in, push harder, make a massive leap. I can tell you that's like all I do in my business is I just like push hard, push hard, push hard, make a massive leap. Okay, wait, I didn't get anything from it. Or wait, that was awesome. And then what's the next one? Oh, do I need to slow down? If you're trying to overhaul an entire routine, don't change everything. Change one thing. Small, steady progress trains your brain that success doesn't have to be followed by a crash. Oh, do I need this at the end of this year? You're teaching your nervous system that growth is safe. And at the end of each day this week, write down 3 things that went well. Not achievements, just things that worked. This activates serotonin and stabilizes your system. You're rewiring the dopamine loop, one small step at a time. Let's rewire our dopamine loop together. Be proud of the small incremental changes, of the small incremental shifts towards your goal. That's what makes lasting impact. Our unshakable brain fact is dopamine doesn't just drive motivation, it also controls your brain's prediction system. When reality doesn't match your dopamine fueled expectations, your brain interprets it as a threat, even if things are objectively going well. This is why achieving a goal can sometimes feel disappointing. Your brain predicted an even bigger reward, and when it didn't get it, dopamine crashed. Understanding this can help you manage expectations and regulate your emotional response to success and to life. Let's regulate our dopamine together. One of the helpful things that not just helped me realize that this pattern of mine was also in my DNA, but how my body reacts. And I can rework it and rewire it with lifestyle choices, but also with some supplementation is through the brain DNA test. Go check it out. Grab yours at unshakablebrain.ai. If you are a practitioner wanting to incorporate this into your toolkit in 2026 and beyond, you can get started for free at unshakablebrain.ai/expert. I'm Dr. Kylie. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next week.